Yeah, thank you very much for giving this opportunity. In continuation to what Dr. Fatma has mentioned now, the other important crops, those crops which are climate smart and nutrient dense, are millets. So millets, as you all know, these are a collective group of small seeded annual grasses that are grown as grain crops primarily on marginal land in dry areas of temperate, subtropical and tropical regions. And these millets are grown in about 131 countries. And these are the ancient food grains and the first plants domesticated for food around 8000 BC. And these millets are the traditional food for nearly 59 crore people in Asia and Africa. In India, we grow 9 kinds of millets, and the major millets are sorghum, pearl millet, and finger millet. And the other minor millets are proso millet, foxtail millet, barnyard millet, little millet, kodo millet, and brown top millet. Because of the nutritional superiority of these millets, Government of India has renamed them as future cereals for the sake of production, consumption, and trade point of view through a gazette notification issued in 2018. And recently, our Honorable Prime Minister of India has termed them as Shri Ann because of their superiority as climate smart crops and nutrition rich. And if you see millets, there has been significant increases in annual mean temperatures, not only in India, across the world because of the climate change. And because of the climate change, we all know that there is loss of agricultural land, reduction in crop yield, and reduction in global water availability. And because of this, the global population is at the risk for both nutritional and food security. And among the major cereal crops which provide the food are rice, maize, wheat. You see the water requirement 900 to 25,000 mm. And then maize, it requires around annual rainfall of 500 to 800. Wheat, it requires this much. On the other hand, there are those crops, the called as millets, which can come up even at a minimum of 200 millimeters. For example, pearl millet. It can come even at a very low water level. And if you see on the right side, these are the temperature requirements where these crops, temperatures where these crops can grow smoothly and happily. Wheat can withstand up to 30, rice can go up to 35, maize can go to 40. Beyond that, no other important staple crop can flower and set seed. There comes our millets. Pearl millet, it can withstand high temperatures as high as 42, where it flowers and sets seeds. Now, if you also look into the water requirement, just now I mentioned, these millets require very less amount of water. These millets are farmer and environment friendly because they need less fertilizers. Not much of machinery is there, not much of irrigation needed. And if you look into the carbon dioxide emissions, the emissions or the greenhouse gas emissions from these millets are very less compared to their major counterparts. Now, so these millets have a significant role. That is why the unique USPs of the millets as are good for climate resilience, ensuring human health, food and nutrition security because of their faster and shorter life cycle, they put less stress on the environment, they grow by default organically and require minimal fertilizers and pesticides. They survive in low water and nutrients. They need less rainfall. Hence, they're good for planet because they can withstand drought and heat and very less attacked by pests and diseases. They can produce high yields. They have multiple uses like food, feed, fodder, brewing, biofuel, and provide sustainable source of income. Then that is why they're good for farmers. And if we talk from human health perspective, they're high in micronutrients, iron, zinc, calcium, high in dietary fibers, antioxidants, low glycemic index, gluten-free, high in protein and vitamin B, and rich in polyphenols and phytohormones. That's how they're good for human health. Now, these millets are adapted to smallholder farmers' production system. Just now, Madam Fatma also has mentioned. Here again, I'm showing how these millets can cater to the SDGs 1, 2, 3, 6, 12, 13, and 15. And they also provide greater biodiversity on farm, reducing pest and climate risks, improving farmers' overall resilience. And as I mentioned in the previous slide, they have many good amounts of nutrients. Therefore, the health benefits provided them they are helpful in detoxifying the body. They lower the bad cholesterol. They prevent the onset of cancer. They help to prevent type 2 diabetes, effective in reducing blood pressure, so on and so forth. Many health issues are dealt with these millets. And if you see, these are the nutritional composition of millets in comparison to wheat and rice. And these are the different millets: sorghum, pearl millet, finger millet, kodo millet, proso millet, foxtail, little, barnyard millet. And if you see the amount of different nutrients like fat, energy, dietary fibers, calcium, finger millet is having highest, then zinc is highest in barnyard, and then also pearl millet. Iron is high in pearl millet, then thiamine is high in foxtail, riboflavin, niacin, they are high in proso millet, folic acid is high in kodo millet. So if you compare with our staple foods, these are definitely nutrient dense crops. And you can see here the bottom, the protein, fat, and dietary fiber come in different millets in comparison to rice and whole wheat. That is why these millets are termed as the nutri cereals. And these are the gluten-free nutritive grains, and they provide an effective remedy for celiac disease. Here you can see the amount of calcium present in finger millet in compared to other grains and other millets. So with these beautiful properties, the millet improvement in India is happening through the National Millet Research Network. At the apex is Indian Institute of Millet Research. We have different regional stations, one for Rabi sorghum or the irrigated sorghum, rain-fed sorghum, that is in Sholapur, Maharashtra. We have another regional research station upcoming for pearl millet in Rajasthan. And then we have an off-season nursery for seed multiplication. And also we have this beautiful system of All India Coordinated Research Project. We have a combined project for sorghum and small millets and another All India Coordinated Research Program for pearl millet. What happens when we go for the millet breeding or breeding of new varieties? We first identify the different agroecologies and then come up with the defined product profiles. And then we go for those site-specific product profiles, and then we develop the material. And here we have a number of regional AICRP centers which are located in our state agriculture universities spread across the country. For sorghum, we have 18 research centers. For small millets, 13. For pearl millet, we have 12. And because of the multidisciplinary competent scientific and technical team, we were able to release so many varieties in millets. This is the Indian Institute of Millet Research, and this is the upcoming Global Center of Excellence. If you see the millet map, almost all the states are growing one or the other millets. In India, the major millet is pearl millet, occupying about 54.5% area, followed by sorghum, 34.9%, and small millets, 3.3%, and finger millet, 7.3%. Similarly, the production is also measured by pearl millet, then followed by sorghum, then ragi, and other small millets. Just now I mentioned that we identify the suitable agroecological zones, then we develop the product profiles. We also prefer developing short duration cultivars and those with resistance to major diseases and pests. And fortunately, unlike other major crops, the number of diseases and pest incidents in millets is really less. And we also use marker-assisted breeding for parental line improvement, varietal development. We also use this heterotic grouping and genomic selection for mainstreaming of the nutritional traits. Here, if you see on the right side, these are the available product profiles in different millets. So we have a number of agroecological zones identified for each millet. And then these are the number of product profiles we come up with. And accordingly, our breeders make efforts to come up with new varieties. Here, I would like to draw your attention that we are the first people to transform from food to nutritional security by mainstreaming nutritional traits. Till now, across the globe, all the breeders target for high yield, disease resistance, pest resistance, and all these things. Quality is also gaining importance. But here is the case where for the first of its kind policy in the world in cultivar development, we have made iron and zinc, that is the micronutrient content, as part of the promotional criteria in our Pearl Millet Improvement Program. So we have fixed minimum benchmark levels of grain iron 42 ppm and grain zinc 32 ppm. And from this happened in 2017. From 2018 till date, we have nearly 40 hybrids which have minimum of these levels of iron and zinc. Highest level is something like 77 or 80 ppm of iron. And here on the other side, you see finger millet. Because finger millet is rich in calcium, you can see we are coming up with those varieties which are having as high as calcium 4280 ppm, 4540 ppm, along with iron and zinc. So this naturally we are trying to come up with biofortified varieties. And these are some of the popular and latest Kharif grain sorghum hybrids. These are Kharif grain sorghum varieties. And these are little millet varieties. Then if you look into for the past 12 years, and this is for the last 3 years, you can see these many varieties have been released in different millets across different years. And these are the last year, these many varieties have been notified by the Central Variety Release Committee, and these are the state-specific varieties developed. And also, these are the different short duration climate resilient varieties of millets, which can be the good contingency crops and fit into the different cropping systems across the country. And we also not only go for varietal development, we also look into our germplasm resources, identify them, and come up with desirable genetic stocks with the high traits, specific traits like high oil content in sorghum, and then finger millet. This is the blast resistant finger millet. You can see different kinds of material, and all these things have been registered. This is the information related to different genetic stocks. Not only development of varieties and hybrids, we also look into take care of the quality seed production. And these are the different classes of the seeds produced in different millet varieties. And we have come up with creation of special seed hubs for increasing production of millet crops in India, through which we are trying to address the issues of millet seed availability. And then, apart from developing high-yielding varieties and technologies, we're also addressing the issues related to value addition technology through our technology business incubator. And we have primary processing, secondary processing, and advanced processing. And till date, Indian Institute of Millet Research has come up with 77 millet value-added technologies. We have come up with our own brand called Eat-Right. And apart from doing research, we are also trying to do policy development, policy advocacy, and also trying to come up with grades and standards for food safety and standards association. And then through Global Center of Excellence on millets, we are trying to address the issues related to millet germplasm, then technology innovation for enhancing yield and productivity. And we're also coming up with a Nutri-Cereal Analytical Reference Lab, a Center of Excellence for developing value-added products, International Knowledge, Skill Development, and Capacity Enablement Center, through which we can give training at the global level, and then global facility for industry utilization through pilots and also reaching out to different regions. And also through Maharishi, that is the Millet and Other Ancient Grains Research, International Research Initiative, which is a fallout of the G20 presidency of the country. We are trying to lead as a secretariat for this Maharishi and take up international collaborative research on millets. So thanks for your kind attention. Eat millets and stay healthy.